do things differently when we take personal responsibility. We don't have to keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. That starts when we're children, when we're kids. But we have all this power. Before we know how to truly wield it, it's stripped from us. We're stripping our children of their power. And then when they become adolescents or young adults, we then want to get mad. Oh my gosh, I can't. Why aren't you doing anything with your life? Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the FCS Prep Podcast, where I am your host, Dr. Keith Fairclough, and we are back again today talking about personal responsibility. And this is another facet of it, and today we're going to talk about personal responsibility and blame. But before we get into anything else, I was looking over at the analytics, and I saw that 98% of our viewers are not subscribed. That means you're missing out on all of this phenomenal information when it drops. When you guys get here, make sure you all hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, so you can be notified when new videos come out. And now the shorts, in case you're not on my other social media, or in case you just want a little small snippet, you just want a little small snack for the day. So guys, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so you can be notified. Also, hit that bell too so you can be notified when the new videos drop. All right? Hey, listen, I'm not about all the talking, so let's just get into it. Guys, today we're talking about personal responsibility and blame. It kind of hit me. All right, let me just monologue for a little bit. I'm not a villain, but I'm going to do it. All right? I was thinking about personal responsibility, and it's like, why don't people really want to take personal responsibility? What is wrong with saying I made a mistake? I messed up. I can do better. I'm not doing good enough. Like, what's wrong with saying that? Like, why is that such a problem for people? And then as I was thinking, it hit me, because as powerful as personal responsibility is, as empowering and life-changing as personal responsibility is, how much difference it can make in our lives, just like so many other phenomenal and great things in this world, it's been hijacked. It's been taken over. It's been twisted. It's been warped. How many good things that were created, people that made things out of the goodness and the kindness of their heart to help humanity, have been taken and twisted and warped and changed into something evil and malevolent? How many things has that happened to? Personal responsibility is no different. So see, that is what's happened. See, they have taken personal responsibility. They've taken our power. They've taken our godhood. They've taken it, they twisted it, and they warped it, and they manipulated it and just tore it apart. And they gave us this Frankenstein type version called blame. Yes, they've given us a Frankenstein version called blame. That's what blame is. It is a twisted version of personal responsibility. But see, it's the opposite of it though, right? Some people might say it's semantics. It's just, aren't they the same thing? No. And I'm going to explain why personal responsibility and blame are not the same thing. They are not the same thing. It is not semantics. See, personal responsibility, like I just said before, it empowers you, right? That's where our godhood comes from. That's where very much like God, and that we can take ownership for our own things and our own behaviors and make a change based off of that, right? That's one part of it, but it's a big part, right? We can do things differently when we take personal responsibility. We don't have to keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. We can get out of the rat race. We can do so much. But blame, that's not the case. See, there are a lot of negative things that come along with blame, right? Nothing good comes out of blame. Fear comes out of blame. Guilt comes out of blame. Suppression comes out of blame. Being silenced comes out of blame. Emotional implosion comes out of blame. All these things come out of blame. How does any of that stuff make us powerful? How does any of that stuff help us to do something different in the future? No. What blame does is, I hate how this is feeling. I hate what it's like when things are my fault. So now I'm going to make sure, not that I do things different so they're not my fault, not that, but I'm going to make sure I give my power away. I put the blame on somebody else. I give the responsibility to somebody else. It's not my fault. It's my brother's fault. It's not my fault. It's my sister's fault. It's not my fault. It's the government's fault. It's my wife's fault. It's my husband's fault. It's my kid's fault. It's the traffic's fault. It's God's fault. It's this person's fault. We just give all our power away because we're so terrified of all the stuff that comes along with blame. Because that's what comes along with it. That is what comes along with blame. Nothing but just bad stuff. It's disempowering. It is disempowering. It strips us, it robs us of all of our power. What do I mean by that? What do I mean that it robs us? How does this happen? You might be asking yourself that. I don't know what you're talking about. To me, it's still semantics. To me, it's all the same. Listen, let me first, let's go back. Let's go all the way back, right? Where does this even start? Where does blame start to take hold? Where do they start assigning blame? When they start twisting personal responsibility? That starts when we're children, when we're kids. But we have all this power. Before we know how to truly wield it, it's stripped from us. Because you know what happens when we're kids? Instead of being guided and instructed on what happens when we make a mistake, no, you're bad. That's a bad kid. That's a bad girl. You're a bad boy. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. Shame. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be guilty. How could you? What do you think happens when you keep doing that to a kid? Kids are resilient, no doubt. Kids are very resilient, but they're not God, and they're not invincible, and they can get worn down. But that's exactly what we do. That's exactly where it comes from. That's where it all starts. They don't sit. A lot of times adults don't sit with kids and be like, hey, listen, I see you made a mistake. Hey, listen, this is what we got to do to come back from it, right? Own it. You make your mistake. You own it. Hey, and this is how you do it different in the future. Most adults don't do that, right? We yell. You can't believe you did that. Da, 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 da. We spank. We ridicule. We try to shame them and guilt them. We're stripping our children of their power. And then when they become adolescents or young adults, we then want to get mad. Oh my gosh, I can't. Why aren't you doing anything with your life? Why aren't you taking personal responsibility? This is on you. This is your fault. Da, 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 da. You need to do different. They've been trained their whole life to give that power away. They've been trained their whole life not to take personal responsibility. Their entire life they've been trained for that. And then we all of a sudden expect them just to change and be different. And then they become adults. And then they're adults that make all the excuses. Oh, well, I was late to work because of traffic. No, you weren't. It wasn't that. You just blamed traffic. It wasn't traffic. You just got up late. Oh, well, our marriage would have survived if he would have said this or he would have treated me better, or she would have said this or she would have treated me better. No. What did you do? Did you do what you were supposed to do? No. But listen, it's to be expected. It's to be expected. If you've been trained your whole life to give your power away, if you've been trained your whole life to run from the shame and the guilt that comes with blame, you've been training your entire life in every situation with your grades, with your academics, with your health, with your relationships, with your mindset, all that stuff. You've been trained to pass the buck, to blame everybody and everything else. Just makes sense. That's what you get as an adult. That's what you get as an adult. Because this is what blame is. This is where it comes from. This is how crippling blame can be. Do you understand that the fear of blame can be so powerful that it can create mental health issues? It can create depression. It can create anxiety. It can create bipolar. It can create personality disorders. Like, it can create all that stuff. You'll be surprised how damaging fear can be. How blaming and training people to take blame their whole life, how damaging that can be. Because if you train someone their whole life to be a victim, because that's exactly what blame does, it creates victims. Because listen, it's not my fault. The moment you say it's not my fault, that means you're a victim. I didn't do it. The moment you start saying stuff like that, they made me feel this way. They made me angry. They made me do this. They made me do that. So that's the moment you become a victim. And that's the moment your power starts seeping out of you to the point where your entire life is controlled by everybody and everything else. And you're wondering, and then you complain about it. And you complain about it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But listen, there is a remedy for this. There is a remedy for the poison and the twisting and the manipulation of personal responsibility that is blame. There is a remedy for this. There is a remedy for it. But we're not going to go over it in this episode. You got to stay tuned. I got 2 more episodes coming up. We're going to talk about what it is to receive blame, what happens when you do that, in addition to what we just talked about today. And we're also going to talk about how we can then take personal responsibility. We got 2 more episodes. One's about taking blame on, right? What happens when we take the blame on and what goes on within us. And also how we can start taking personal responsibility. The next episode after that is kind of like what I was talking about with the parents. It's not just for parents, but just in general, right? 3rd episode is going to be about what happens when we give give blame, and then how instead of giving blame, how we can encourage personal responsibility. But y'all gotta stay tuned. Y'all got to stay tuned. You gotta subscribe. You gotta like. Listen, comment too. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you experiencing this? Have you experienced this growing up? Are you trained to blame? You know, have you come out from blame to taking personal responsibility? I'd love to hear your guys' stories. I'd love to be able to interact with you. Listen, again, if you need help or anything like that, please hit me up. You got all my contact, all my links, everything that's always in the bios, in the description below. So whatever you need, it's all down there. Hit me up. Let's get you where you want to be. But guys, again, stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. People need this. Share it. Give it to your friends. Give it to your family. Listen, you can say Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, Merry Kwanzaa, whatever. Listen, give it out. It can be a gift. It can bless somebody's life. Get this stuff out there, all right? I love you guys. Listen, we're going to be back with more, so stay tuned so you know how to take personal responsibility, what blame looks like when we do it, and then also how to not blame other people and how to encourage others to take personal responsibility. All right? I love you all. I know it was a little bit short, but listen, we just get straight to the point here, guys. Get straight to the point, all right? Love you all. Y'all take care. Have a great, awesome, and blessed day, and I'll see you all soon.